Hello, I'm Andy Willson, the Sneaker Dog, aka the Sneakonomist, and I wanted to give you a brief update on some goings on in the UK retail space that's happened this week so far. So this week we've heard that ASOS are in exclusive talks with Arcadia Group over purchasing Topshop and Miss Selfridge. There's no guarantee a deal will go through. They're in discussions at the moment. So why is this important? Well, JD Sports it was a name that had been mentioned of looking over these assets, not only off their own back, but also in conjunction with Authentic Brands, who are from the US, who are looking to bid and then get JD Sports to fulfill and process the orders. BooHoo, as well as Next, were other names that were mentioned as looking over these assets. So ASOS are in talks, no guarantee that a deal will go through. BooHoo announced that they have bought Debenhams. Now, BooHoo, as well as ASOS, they're online-only businesses, so there won't be any store assets being kept here. The BooHoo deal with Debenhams is done. BooHoo are seeing it as a way to get access to cosmetics, as well as maybe selling some of the third-party concession stuff on their own marketplace, and also Debenhams' own brand bits and pieces as well. So at that point, because these two assets that were up for sale were kind of either been bought or in discussions, I thought maybe things are going to calm down a little bit with JD Sports. But this morning, JD Sports announced they are looking to raise additional funding to invest in future strategic opportunities. That basically means that they're thinking about going to the stock market, going to shareholders or to new investors to say, we're trying to raise X amount of money, we're going to issue some new shares to be able to raise that cash. So they're just thinking about it at the moment, but it made me think, what exactly could they purchase? Now in the UK, they bought Foot Asylum, and we know that the regulators were unhappy initially with the amount of market share that JD Sports would have. They said you have to sell Foot Asylum, and then a judge then said, actually, no, I think that's unfair, you can keep hold of it. But they must be getting very, very close to, the chances of them being able to come in and buy another largish business is very, very slim. We've seen they've just been cherry picking some individual stores, etc. of late. What about the US? Well, Finish Line, they bought a couple of years ago. They're in the process of rebranding some of the Finish Lines as JDs, but also refurbishing some of the existing Finish Lines and keeping them as Finish Lines. And they recently bought Shoe Palace as well, so they've bitten off quite a lot there. The EU made me sit and think about a few things. So geographically speaking, the UK makes up 43% of revenues. This was last year. The EU was 26%, the US was 26%, and the rest of the world was 5%. Now, as it stands at the moment in Europe, JD are represented in 11 different countries. They currently have one new warehouse that's 80,000 square feet, and that is in Belgium. Now, some of the businesses, for instance, they own Sprinter in Spain. They have their own warehouses and they are known as Sprinters, they're not JDs. But so they have different businesses, Sport Zone, as well as a couple of other bits and pieces dotted around in Europe. So why is this important? Now, as it stands at the moment, as I said, that Belgian facility isn't large enough to be able to stock a lot of the EU countries and all the stores, etc. So stuff is sent directly from the manufacturers to the UK, to their Rochdale fulfillment centre, a warehouse, and is then shipped into the EU. Since Brexit, this is causing problems. There's additional paperwork. You've also got taxes and charges, etc. that are put on top. The company have already taken a charge up front for this. They've said it's going to cost them £10 million. Other businesses have done similar. But it just makes me wonder if, with what's going on in the US at the moment, they can't do something in the UK on the sports side of things because of Foot Asylum. Maybe they're looking at something to grow in the EU. Now, they could always do something fashion related in the UK because the market share issue was with sports, retail, trainers, sneakers, etc. But the fact that they were interested apparently in Debenhams and also Arcadia. That means they could be looking at something on the fashion side of things. But I don't know, we don't know yet. They're still just looking at things, but the fact that there's some logistical issues about getting stuff sent over from manufacturers to the EU via the UK at the moment, it just got me thinking of some various different options. So do watch this space. They are thinking about it at the moment, and I will definitely update you if we get any more detail there. Just one quick thing on Puma. They were voted by the Top Employers Institute as a top employer in Europe for the second time in a row. They're the only sporting manufacturer that has been voted as such, so they're very pleased there. The shares though underperformed today. There was a broker that downgraded the stock, saying that this first half lockdown of 2021 is going to cause a little bit more difficulty compared to how they originally thought, but Puma must be happy. They're a good employer. If any of you have had any issues with orders coming either from if you've bought something, I know some European retailers have stopped shipping into the UK and vice versa. I'm sure there's some stuff that some of the stores in the UK are not shipping out to the EU. But if you've actually had an order, whether it's on Sneakers app or anywhere else, and you've had it subsequently cancelled, I'd be really, really interested. So if you could give me a shout, that would be great. And lastly, I'm still working on this QC issue piece. I'm still desperate for more bad QC. I know the recent dunks, particularly the black and white dunks, we had a Vike instead of Nike on the back of one of the heels, and also some of the stitching has been poor. So any more QC issues, please either send it to the Sneakonomist, DM me, or the Sneaker Dog, and I'll speak to you soon.